Hey everyone, I hope your Tuesday is doing good. Haven't made a video in a while. I've been working on finishing up this army, and today I'm going to call it complete. There's still a few things I could do on them, like these guys really need their blindfolds painted into a different color that stands out a little better on their skin. A lot of these guys need the eye lenses painted on them, and also the purity seals painted up on them. But as it stands, I've got a lot of other projects I want to get onto, and so I can get some of this stuff done and then move on to my projects and get things rolling. I've got about 60 guys here, 50 guys. I think it ended up being 50 guys all told. Yet 4 groups of 10 with a group of 5 over here, and for these guys here in the back, and I think I made an extra one of the Rangers. Are those the Rangers? I can't remember. But still haven't played a battle with them. Still haven't gotten them onto the table. But they're all magnetized. They're all able to switch out into different roles on the battlefield. And so one day I hope to put these 2,000 points into action just to see how things go. This guy was the last one I finished, and you can still see the trim on his robe still needs to be done, but that can be done in about 5 minutes. So I've got other projects going. Like I said, I've got another horde army, a whole group of about 100 foot soldiers for Cities of Sigmar. I want to build the not the Greywater Fastness, but was it Altdorf? No, not Altdorf. That's the old empire. But the one where you can make wizards, and they're really wizardy. So we'll see if I do that. I'm actually going to make myself not work on that much at all because I have other things. I still got all my plane models to get done and built and put up, which I'll show you a few of those. So hold on just a minute. Let me put these guys away, and then we'll put some models down here to look at and see what we're going to get doing. All right, I'll be right back. All right, so here's what I've been working on. You can see I've got my Sisters of Battle, the army kit that came out, the 10 sisters with the Canoness and the Repentia and the big army set that came out right before Christmas time and sold out like a mofo. I actually bought 2 of them because I happened to be near a GW when it came out, and there was 3 on the shelf, and I bought 1, and then I had ordered 1 through my local shop, and they sold out really quick, and they're still sitting on a full unopened box. But I thought about putting it on eBay, but they're just going for under retail because evidently a ton of people bought a ton of them to sell on eBay, and it's like, oh well, you just kind of ruined it for everybody else who really wanted them. Oh well. But anyway, these models are really nice. They're monopose. They're easy to put together, and they're really chock full of detail. After painting about 50 of the little metal sisters over the past 2 years, 3 years, however long it took me, these are a joy to paint because they're not awkward to hold. They really don't chip while I paint them, and as I'm going over them, the paint just goes over I don't know why it just sticks to the primer better on the plastic than it does with the metal. I kind of found that when I painted Celestine and the 2 BFFs that she has. But overall, I've got 6 of them started on their base coats. You can see I've got some of the basing done. I haven't got her steel on her yet. But I found cleaning my desk for my wife's Christmas present. She wants my office clean every year for her Christmas present. Found this old mini that I had started to give to a younger brother, and had never gotten around to finishing it. And so it's a steampunk Bert and Mary Poppins as they're on the roof. And of course, Bert is armed for bear because you don't live in a steampunk world except that you carry a large steam pistol to shoot steam bad guys with as you travel about. But anyway, that'll be a fun one. It came with this little chimney pot as a base for Bert, and I made this just out of toothpicks and popsicle sticks. So it doesn't look too bad. Looks like a little roof corner. But I'm going to finish that up and mail it to my little brother and his wife. They really like the Mary Poppins movies, and their little daughter loves Mary Poppins. And if you remember, I bought all those airplane models a few months ago, and I've sold about half of them. About 110, 120 of those have been sold out of the 330, and others have been given away to other people as Christmas presents, and some I've kept. I've kept back about, I would honestly say, about a dozen for me to keep, just that so that I can paint them. I'm painting this one so that I can put it into the shop that I have all the other models in. As a look, this is what you could do. It's in a, well, let me focus on what I'm talking. Anyway, I built this one up, and believe it or not, it was a bugger to build, because this top wing had to go on to all these individual struts, and to get it straight was nigh impossible. And in fact, if you look, you can see it's a little cockeyed here on the bottom, but this is meant to be not a display piece. It's meant to go into the shop and be for people to look at and say, oh wow, anybody can build these little plastic models. I'll get some for my little son Timmy. Because the majority of people who shop at the shop that I have them in are stay-at-home moms or retired grandmas, or that sort of person who likes craftiness and kitschiness. Well, I hate to say it, but the live, laugh, love crew, which, they're cool people, and if they'll buy my models, I'll like them a lot better. But I've been running into some interesting factoids with these older models, because this was an Ertl set from the late 70s, early 80s, if I remember. And so these decals were about 30 years old, and putting them onto the plane, they just didn't want to stick. They curled in the box, and I had to take them and hair dry them onto the thing to get their shape. And then I've been slathering them in microsol, and that's really kind of gotten them to stick and to form onto the thing. And again, you can see kind of right here, it's also made them start to flake off a little bit, so I have to be careful. As soon as I put the microsol on, I have to put it down so that it won't destroy. Currently building this one. This is a Hawk model from 1964, and this is a hefty piece of plastic. This wing is all solid cast, and the two side bombs and every piece, the fuselage is obviously a dual piece. And but this is an SBD Douglas dive bomber. It's the SBD-5 with the dual 30 cal machine guns that poke out of the back, and the two 250-pound bombs and the one 500-pound bomb underneath. This was a later war model, if my military memory rememberies good. But this one's actually almost all the way built. I just need to put to mask off the canopy and paint this, and then paint the two men who, again, this is a bare bones. This model was built and marketed exclusively to children. There you can see kind of the light there behind the thing. I may have to glue that up more. But again, this is another one that I'm just going to paint up, do a quick paint job, get the decals on, and then put in the shop so that people can see. I think I've already got a Dornier 335, which I call it the Push Me Pull You. It's a dual engine plane with the engine up front and the engine in the back. What are you doing there? Yeah, it did. Huh. Look at that. There we go. But yeah, again, it's not the highest quality model, but honestly, I'm selling them for cheap at the shop. And if they don't all sell by the time my 6-month contract is up, I'm going to put a lot of them on eBay and lots just to get rid of them. Some of them are really good models, and some of them aren't. And honestly, I've been marketing them and selling them to people as, hey, if you ever wanted to look at getting into modeling but didn't want to spend a lot of money, this is your best bet. And the price points are usually about a half or a third or 2/3 of the going retail value for a lot of these models. And it's not too bad. And I get to work in the shop. The shop's owned by a couple of friends of mine. And so I get to hang out with grown-ups, which is nice after hanging out with the 2-year-old most of the week, and then a 7-year-old, and then a 9-year-old. But yeah, that's the one I'm working on. I've got another one that I'll build, a matchbox one that's the box is really torn up, and it's just not feasible to really get into it. But again, the other projects that I was talking about, like here is the Swordsman, the Zweihander Swordsman for the Empire. I have 20 of these guys with full command, a banner, and a musician. And you know that they're just these old metal sculpts, and they're beautiful. And with the Age of Sigmar, Cities of Sigmar rules that have come out, these are actually a viable faction again. And I have all my old dwarf models that can just go as a Greywater Fastness army, and I don't even really need to paint anything else for them. They could just go out and kick ass and take names. But again, they got 20 of these guys. I've got 30 state handgunners. I've got 60 state troops, the guard, and 20 of them are already built and on bases with sword and shield. I think it's actually closer to 25, and so I could easily make 30 of those guys. And then I have 2 boxes of the old boxes with the green movement trays in them for that. Oh, look, and you see I've got a sharpshooter. He can go as a captain of the handgunners with a long rifle. I got a group of of outriders. I even got an engineer on a mechanosteed, which you can't take as a City of Sigmar's guy, but you could maybe take it as an allied Free People's dude. But anyway, I haven't played any Sigmar, so I really don't know enough of that. But one final project that is going to get bumped up to the front of my queue once I get things cleared away is this one. It's a Pegaso Models Samurai Warrior with Naginata, and it's a huge scale. It's a big model. I know I've shown it on here before, but it's been years. But my sensei is finishing his. He's going to quit teaching Aikido just because he wants to retire, and I and another guy are expected to take over. So that'll be exciting, and I'll cut into my modeling time, but it'll help me advance my martial arts skills. But I mean, there's his torso, and so you can see how big he is compared to, say, like the well, let's see, compared to this guy. I mean, there you go. I mean, his chest is as big as a 28. His chest is 28 millimeters. So, bam. I mean, that's going to be a fun one to build. It's going to be difficult for me because I've never painted anything in such a large scale. I've got this. I'm going to make this into the base. But again, like here's his 2 hands holding just the pole of the Naginata, and so I've got to be careful with this and not bend it out, because once the metal is bent, it's bent. It has that S bend in it if you get it, and it's just a bugger to get out. And it's got the back flags. I mean, this will be a fun little model to build. So we'll see how I do, how things work out. Let's see. I wonder if that comes off. Nope, there it goes. Yeah, see, that goes right into there like that. So that will be fun. And you look at his armor for his hips. Or then, no, that's his pauldrons, maybe. Yeah, that'll be the pauldrons. I mean, look at that. That'll be fun. That'll be exciting. I think this one will go here, actually, it looks like. Yeah. Anyway, that's in the future. But he's going to retire within a year or 2, and so I need to get that moved up and get done and everything. But anyway, this has gone on longer than I expected it to. You can see it's been kind of fun to build some old airplane models, return to my youth, and to get back into the old Sisters of Battle painting. One thing that I have discovered in the past few years is I jumped, oops, telephone call, and I don't know who that is, so they can go straight to voicemail. But once I've learned my paint palette or my paint selection for my army, I get things painted really quick. And I've jumped so fast between different projects that I get paint frozen. I'm like, oh, well, what am I going to paint? Oh, but if I pick this color, it has to be this for the whole army. And I don't know if I want to do that for the whole thing. And especially like, like the Mechanicum army, that was 60 foot soldiers plus 3 tanks, 3 walkers, and 4 robots, and 4 command. And I still have Belisarius Call, and I have one of those guys with the transonic razors, the Rust Stalkers. I got 10 of those guys I could build and paint up. And they've just released that new troop transport that you could move things across the battlefield without getting blown up first. And they're coming out with new fast attack options for them, so I could retire the Mechano Striders and put something else out there if they turn out to be rotten or not worth it, or if I just want to have more troops, because then there's more people to be shot at. But anyway, I guess that'll be it for today. I'll see if I can get this one done. Got to paint up the engine, got to paint up the gun, got to paint the seats, got to paint the supports and the undercarriage and all that. And look, you can see, kept hearing. Yeah, I heard the decals crackling, so I got to be careful. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a good week, and I'll see you in the next video. Hopefully in March. We'll see. It's life as usual. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. Adios.